Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be starting to write code in Python, and we'll be using print, for, and while commands. Since it's been a tradition in programming, our first code will be printing hello world. Okay, in these tutorials, I'll be using the Atom editor, so I would strongly recommend you to download and install it. However, in this first video, I'm going to be using Notepad, and we are going to write down our first Python script in Notepad, and we are going to run it in command prompt. So after you write your code, don't forget to save it in the same directory that you are working on. So let's write our first command line. It's going to be print hello world. And I'm going to save it. I'm going to save it as hello world.py. Don't forget the extension. Let's see our file in the command prompt by printing dir. Okay, we have our file here. So let's run it with writing Python space hello world.py. Okay, we can see that it printed out hello world. Okay, let's try something else. Let's delete these apostrophes here and let's see what happens. Let's save our file. Let's run it. Okay, it gives us an error. This is because Python is looking for a variable here named hello world. Since we don't have such a variable, it's giving us an error. Let's change the code a bit. Let's, for example, let's have this as hello underscore world and define it in the beginning as hello underscore world is equal to 5, for example. Let's save it. Let's run it. So it prints out hello world variable, which includes the integer value of 5, okay? We can change our code, like, for example, adding some numbers to this variable. We can run the code once again, so it adds 3 to hello world and then prints it. Okay, let's go back to our first example, printing hello world. So what if we would like to print hello world more than once? Let's say 10 times. Let's use the for loop for this. We're going to say for, we are going to write down in this, let's say I in this example, in range 1, 10. And we are going to put a colon here. And we need to indent the codes inside the for loop. So I'm going to press tab to create an indent and I'm going to save it. And let's see what happens when we run it. So it gives us a bunch of hello worlds, but are we sure that it is printed 10 times? Let's see it. We can see that there are 9 rows of hello world. The reason for this is the ending in this is excluded. So we are going to see many examples like this in Python. So if you would like to print it 10 times, just write 11 here and let's save it. Let's run the code again. Now we can see that we have printed hello world 10 times. So what if I don't want to read all these and make sure that it's 10 lines? So I can add the index to this. I'm going to put a plus here and I'm going to put I so that it prints I. Actually, it will not, but let's see what happens first. Let's run the code. It's giving us an error again. This is because print function is not able to print a string and then an integer at the same time. So what we need to do is I'm going to convert this integer into string with writing str, and I'm going to convert it into string, and I'm going to save the file and I'm going to run it again. You can see that it gives the index at the end of the row. Let's make it better looking, so let's put a space here, save again, and run the code again. So we can see that hello world is printed 10 times. So what if I would like to print hello world forever in an infinite loop? The easiest way to create an infinite loop is using the while true loop. So let's do it. Let's write while true, print hello world, but we don't have the index anymore. So let's delete this part. Let's delete this space as well. Let's save it and let's run it again. So it's continuously printing out hello world. I can get out of the loop by pressing Ctrl C and I'm out of the loop. So this was a very simple introduction to the commands print, for, and while. In the coming session, we will be using the input function so that we will get input from the command line and then we will use it accordingly. See you next time. Bye.